guys, I'm on the way to the studio because a new CB antenna has arrived over there. Now what are they doing? Always digging up the bloody roads. What's in the box, guys? So if you're new to the channel, guys, I know we've had a lot more new subscribers off the back of all the radio videos. So thanks very much for subscribing if you've recently done so. Welcome to the channel. And yeah, if you want to know more about that little car, there's loads of videos about that as well. So I've basically given up doing radio in here. Look at the state of this. It's just a crap location for radio, really. So I'm just going to do radio at home. I mean, I could do VHF, UHF from here. By the way, Retavis sent me this little dual band handheld. I can get into a couple of repeaters from up here. But yeah, for HF and CB, nah, it's not going to work. So in the box, we've got a Thunderbolt SSD 58. Sounds like a hard drive. So this is basically like what's called an end-fed dipole. It's basically a wire antenna. So the idea is you unwind this, connect those two together, and it kind of looks like this. And then you just basically just stick that on a pole as high as you physically can and just annoy the neighbours. But basically what it is really is a Stereo Game Master without a fiberglass pole. Right, back in the shack. So I want to test that new antenna out in a minute. But I'm going to show you what I'm using at the moment. Now in the last video I had a dipole just strung out the window. And I mean, it was actually working pretty well. I was getting like 30-mile contacts all locally. So it was a really good way of actually just getting on air. But obviously, you know, with all this stuff, you know, you kind of get more into it. Now I've returned to the radio hobby for probably, I don't know, I had about a 4-year break where I probably didn't really do much at all. Don't know why really. I mean, I always kind of like dabble in it a little bit, maybe just buy like a new handheld or, I don't know. I go through these phases basically. I think a lot of you are probably the same with hobbies. You kind of, you know, do something to death and then you kind of get bored of it and move on to something else. In my case, it's kind of like the e-bike side of things. And that's kind of, you know, obviously gone from strength to strength. But yeah, so I'm kind of back to radio and CB. You know, I've got my ham license, I can go on any band, do all of that. But CB is the kind of band that's got me hooked at the moment. I'm just loving it. I just think it's awesome. You know, so many people on here. A lot of guys are actually hams as well. So, you know, you're sort of talking to people with a bit of radio experience as well. And maybe not. I mean, some of the guys I've spoken to on CB that haven't got ham licenses actually know a lot more than the hams that I've spoken to, which is really interesting. So yeah, it's been a massive eye-opener, as you've seen from all the other videos that I've been doing. But I just love this kind of like regional contacts, you know, making contacts 30, 40, 50 miles away locally, and then, you know, up the country as well. I'm loving all of that. That is what really gets me buzzing. And do you know what? The propagation is crazy on 27 megahertz. It might be just really obvious because there's so many stations on 27, but there's just so much happening. There's DX popping up all over the place. The States came in the other day, so we had America. Amazing. I mean, it's just that hasn't happened for a long, long time. Anyway, enough of the waffle. I'll show you what I'm using at the moment. I think you're going to like this. Right, here's the speaker stand at the bottom, and I've got a whacking great fiberglass pole up there, and I've got my dipole on there as well, so you can see the coax coming out of the centre point. There we go, we can see it a bit better. So this is actually working really well. I mean, it's above the kind of roof line, so that is a good start with any antenna. But yeah, hilarious. So that's a really lightweight fiberglass pole, that actually. I'll put the link in the description to that because it's on Amazon. It's really good. It's designed for like windsocks and stuff like that. So, you know, it's pretty robust, but also super light. It was about 35 quid or something like that. Speaker stand I already had, so that's straightforward. You know, it's a great little portable kind of setup to get. I mean, you could run this in a field or anywhere else, but I want to try it here because at the moment I don't really want to stick an antenna, you know, actually physically on the house. Oh, and this pole folds up to about 1 metre in height as well. Crazy. It's only been up a day because the pole arrived before that other antenna, so I wanted to just try the dipole on it and just see what would happen. I've had good reports into London from here, which is quite good because obviously London's a really noisy area. A lot of the stations in London squelch up as well because of that, and you know, they can't hear. But I've managed to sort of do that, get a contact into central London, which is actually really good. That's giving me a good sign. That's giving me hope that that's working well. So what I want to do now is stick the Thunderbolt on that pole. So yeah, there you go. I've taken it down. Super easy to retract. Right guys, so it's up. So there's my trusty dipole. If the other one works, I'll just give this to one of my mates who wants to get on air. Right, it was a good start. Similar kind of noise to what I was getting before. A couple of stations there, obviously. See if we can give anyone a shout. On 10 metres, of course, not on CB bands.
Now that's the first time I've heard you, because yesterday I was getting nothing off you at all. I was getting no signal off you at all. A little tiny bit of audio, but as I say, it's not really what you know, to understand the word of it really, but now you're a signal forward, and on side band I'll probably give you about a radio free.
Got him tuned in a bit better now.
You know, standing noise.
Bit of noise reduction.
You know, it's annoying when it happens.
Right, so it's the next day now. We've got another box here this morning, and what's in here, it's a little 19-inch monitor for the AC. Because I've tried running HDMI on this thing and it just doesn't, well, I've heard a lot of horror stories, put it that way. And I can't get it to work on this screen, so yeah, we've got its own dedicated screen. This costs 25 quid from eBay. This is absolutely immaculate. There's not a mark on it. 25 quid. I need a stand for it. Right, I've got it wired up. You have to go into this menu setting here, turn the display on, 800 by 600. Here we go, it's working. Oh, didn't like the look of that. What's that flashing? Look at that, how cool is that? And you've got the mouse pointer as well. So you can just like tap on whatever you want to listen to. Oh, looks like I've spoke too bloody soon. That'll be going back. Yeah, so something's not right with that at all. I disconnected it from the radio as soon as I saw anything happen. Yeah, so that's going back. So that's going to go back, it'll go in the bin. I've messaged the seller and they're actually just going to send me a new one. Getting some Swedish stations coming through, I think. Some strong Polish stations as well. This is on the 10 metre handband now. Mike 6 Juliet Kilo Alpha.
Mike 6 Juliet Kilo Alpha, you're 59509.
Yeah, 5959 also 001.
Thank you. Lima Yankee 2 Charlie X-ray.
There you go, straight in there. Lithuania he was. It's quite interesting, isn't it? You can hear the difference between the hand bands and what I've shown you of the CB bands. On CB bands people just kind of chit chat most of the time. If you do get a bit of foreign kind of DX coming in, then you know there is a bit of call sign exchange, but there's usually a bit of chit chat with it. But on that, you know, 11 metre band, that station just literally wants to get contact after contact, so it's just cryptic. There's no conversation there. I mean, some people like that sort of thing. Some people like to you know, do that. It's all radio, isn't it, at the end of the day? So there you go, guys. Sometimes location is just a problem, especially with the CB frequencies, CB band, because there's a lot of noise in that band, and you know, sometimes you can just be in a really bad location. It's just never going to work, whatever you do. And just moving to another location, or maybe just working out portable or something with a simple antenna like that, just, you know, a pole and a bit of wire effectively, and you can have great results getting contacts locally and a lot further afield, as you've seen. So I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys, and maybe it's inspired you to get on the radio and have a play around with this side of the hobby. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Oh yeah, I nearly forgot. We're also participating on the Sunday Night Net on PMR 446. So channel 8 at 8 o'clock on PMR 446. Grab yourself one of these radios, or you know, any 446 radio or Bay FM, whatever you want. You might actually hear us if you're in the Hertfordshire area. So give us a shout.